people up. You're going to struggle doing this part. So can we get the projector on this anyway? No, it's fine. I don't think we need it. But everyone knows the start form, right?
Yeah.
If you don't know, go to the person that introduced you or go to your upline and find out how to get the start form. Because if you don't, there's going to be a problem. Have your start form ready. Now that I have my start form ready, the first thing I'm going to do to try and close him, I'm going to turn my laptop. I'm not going to ask him any questions. So do you have any questions? Ryan, what's your last name? And I start typing. Can you guys see what I've said? What's your last name? Because that's the first question that comes up in the start form. Mr. I usually ask the women, are you Mrs. or are you Miss? Right? And I'll ask the gents, of course you're Mr. Right? There's no other way, right? So I just simply do Mr. for the men, and I go Mr. and I say, Ryan, what's your last name? Right? What's your first name? Spell your first name for me. Right? Perfect. Your date of birth, and I start going. Now I want you to start coming with objectives, okay? Now usually the objectives come at the latter part, okay? So, Ryan, what's your phone number? Tells me his phone number. Right, what's your email address? Perfect. Now we're getting you started on your trial period so you can go home and actually think about it.
Can I not think about it for a commit to anything?
Of course, but tell me, now watch how raw I'm going to be, okay? Now is when the rawness starts, conversation starts. Ryan, tell me, bro, tell me, what is it that you need to think about? That's what I want to know.
I just don't like making decisions on the spot.
Of course, I completely understand. But then that leads me to believe that there's something you don't trust about this. This is why you want to research, right?
Yeah.
Okay, tell me, what don't you trust about it? What's there to not trust?
I've never heard of that.
Can you see how objective I'm being? I'm being real and I'm being objective. Watch how I'm going to close him. I want you guys to really watch, okay? Ryan, I want to ask you a question. How long have you known Sakina for?
2 minutes?
No, no, no. Does that make sense?
Yeah, a couple of years.
Right? Okay, how long have you known Sakina for?
A couple of years.
Couple of years. Now, perfect. Do you know, be realistic, and just be realistic, no fun stuff. Now, do you know her for being a time waster?
No.
No. You know she's going to make educated conclusions, right?
Yeah.
Do you trust her?
Yeah.
So clearly you must trust the business. Because if you trust her, then that means sign up on her trust. Do you think she will scam you?
Hope not.
Right? You hope not. So you know she ain't going to scam you. Listen, Ryan, and now I be real with him. Watch how I'm going to be real with him. Watch how I'm going to close him. Ryan, let me tell you something. You know, later on, Sakina has more people coming. And when they come, these people are going to be on their level number 1. They're going to be on her level number 1. The last thing that I want from you is 5 years later, her becoming successful. I'm working directly with her. I'm going to mentor her, make sure she gets to the top. The last thing I want is 5 years later, her becoming successful and you still being in the same place. Bro, tell me, what do you do for a living?
I work in recruitment.
So the reality is, you work in recruitment. If your life hasn't changed economically the last 5 years, it's not going to change the next 5 years. The last thing I want is 5 years later, her becoming successful and you not becoming successful. Listen, I don't want you to honestly be that person. Listen, man, I'm going to save you time. I respect you enough, and I literally start to get friendly. Listen, what's your love? Listen, give me back the pages. I'm going to do, look, and this is why I say, I'm going to do you a favor. I swear, just, you know, 2 days ago, I closed the guy like this. And I said, look, the last thing that I want is, and it was a him, right? I said, the last thing I want, him becoming successful, and in 5 years, you're in the same place. That's the last thing that I want. Listen, we're going to see some other people. Believe me, I don't want you to come back to us in 3 days and say, I want to start when we already got 3 people. I want you to be the first person. I want you to be the pioneer in this movement that we're trying to make. Listen, our company's already 800 million. We don't even need you. But to help us take to the billions, we need people to help us. Listen, man, let me do you a favor, man. Who do you bank with? HSBC, right? Who do you bank with?
Yeah.
NatWest. I want to tell you something, okay? After I've said that to someone, who would be embarrassed to say I don't have my bank card? Who would tell me I don't have my bank card? Who would tell me I don't want to sign up after that conversation? Believe me, if you are real with them, you can close them. If you are not real with them, and you start doing other scripts saying, oh, but listen, we're just going to get you started on your 7-day trial period. Oh, what's your last name? What's your bank